Hello, everybody. This is Georgiana and Meredith from Creativity for Kids, and today we are going to be unboxing, assembling, and telling you the tips and tricks behind our mini gardens. So, Miss Meredith, take it away.
Yay! Thank you, Georgiana, and thank you, Felicia, and thank you, Michaels, and thank all of you for being here today. So as Georgiana said, we are going to be opening up, unboxing, and putting together some mini gardens. So I want to first introduce you to our mini gardens that you can find at Michaels. We have here our Mermaid mini garden. We have our Dinosaur mini garden. We have our Unicorn mini garden. And I don't have the boxes, but I do have a sample of our little ponies mini garden. And we also will be having a princess mini garden at Michael's too. So we're very excited. We've got plenty of mini gardens for you to choose from. But today, let's figure out which mini garden we want to do together. All right, please let me know if we should do the mermaid, the dinosaur, or the unicorn. All right, if you want, go ahead and type in your answer and we'll see which one we'll do together today. And if you guys don't have an opinion, we'll just draw straws. Oh.
Two for mermaid.
Unicorn. Two for mermaid, one for unicorn. Anybody else have an opinion as to which one we should do?
My vote was going to be dinosaur, so.
All right, and 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, mermaid it is. Okay. Mermaid is perfect for the season because a lot of people, I think, go on beach vacations. And this little mini garden kit comes with certain things that you might see at the beach. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. So just open up the top here. And first, what we have are our seeds that we'll be planting. And we have some cool decorations. We'll open these up. This is a mermaid tail and a real seashell. And this that fell out is our little squeezy tube that you use to water your garden. We have our sand, and you're given a couple different colors. So there's green, there's blue, and there's purple. And in my hand here, there's some little white stones. This is our soil. It's super easy to use, and it has these cool little golden specks in it, which I always forget what they are, but I just think it looks magical. And then in here we have the base of our garden. We have the top of our garden. It looks like a little egg, and you put it together. It just fits together like that. We have our stickers. And within our stickers, you'll see the cute little mermaid, her friend the jellyfish, the seahorse, the starfish, the cute little other fish, some shells, some bubbles, and some seaweed. And then these are our 3-dimensional stickers that look like mermaid tail scales and little pearls. So you can see These are the ones that look like the mermaid tail scales. And our pearls and our rhinestones. And of course, our handy dandy instructions. So let's get started here. Now, you will need to go get some water. So if you don't have water on hand, you'll need to go get some water. And I have some water here with me. So I'm all set. And if you're going to get water, you might as well get a couple paper towels too, just so you can wipe off your hands if you get soil or sand or anything on them. And I do have a paper towel just to put down on my work surface so I don't get my table all messy. All right. So while you guys go do that, I'm going to look at our instructions. All right, your kit comes complete with everything you need to grow your own mini mermaid garden. Just add water. Quick grow chia seeds sprout in as little as 3 to 5 days. Decorate, plant, water, and grow. So before you begin, just like I said, cover your work area and have a cup of water and a spoon nearby. Oh, I didn't bring my spoon, but that's okay. The sand and potting mix can be messy. Avoid getting it near your face or eyes. Select which side of your terrarium base and lid will be the front. This will help you plan the arrangement of your stickers, seeds, and accessories. All right, so first thing we're going to do is plant. So before planting, we're actually going to decorate the outside of the terrarium base with the gems and pearls and add the pearl to the shell. So let's see where our pearl and shell is. Here's our pearl, or here's our shell. Okay, well, I'll just keep going. First things first, open your potting mix and add a few tablespoons of water. So this is fun. This potting mix is really easy because all you do is you kind of tear open, or you can even use scissors and just cut open the top. And you're going to work in your bag. So what you're going to do is add a little bit of water by a little bit of water until the consistency of this potting mix feels kind of like moldable. So like if you were to squeeze it, your fingers would make like an imprint in there. Not like your fingerprints, but just your fingers. You'll see what I mean. All right, so. And we don't want to put too much water because then it gets like a sloppy mess. So we'll just go a little bit at a time. All right. And then kind of close the top and squish, squish, squish. I'm going to hold it on its side and you can see how I'm squishing it together. So the goal is to get all of the potting mix kind of moist. We don't want it to be dry because we need to form it into the base of our little garden. So we're going to add some more water. Just a little bit more. Squish, squish, squish. Ooh, yeah. Look at it. Okay, so it's becoming very moldable, like a ball of soil. But I can tell down in this corner, it's still very loose, like powdery. So I'm going to add just a bit more. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And squishy, squish, squish. And squish it down, make sure you got it all together. Okay. And all right. This is a little, I think I added just a little too much water, but it's not too bad. All right. So press the mix into the bottom of your terrarium. We'll put the water aside. And I'm just gonna keep the soil, the mix in the bag and just put the top or put the base over it and like just squish it out. So I'm squishing it out of the bag and into the base at the same time. And this way, I'm not even getting my fingers dirty, which I like that. Hey, okay. It wasn't that too much wet. It was pretty good. All right, cool. Throw that away. All right, so press, press, press. And it fills up the base of your garden really well. Ta-da. All right. Next, sprinkle a few white stones across the back of your terrarium. So you might notice some of these bags have the little zipper closure type thing. So you can use them again if you need to. And that's the case for this little bag of white stones, but I think I'm going to use all of them. So we'll just keep the bag over there in case I need it for another crafting kit. All right, so it said to just put them around the back. I've just decided this is going to be the back area of my garden. So sprinkle a few white stones across the back of your terrarium. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Very lovely. Sprinkling, sprinkling. All done. Okay. Now, sprinkle a few chia seeds over and between the stones. Now, by a few, we're just going to take like a couple pinches and then save the rest for planting at a later time. And actually, since this little bag did not come with a little zipper seal, we'll use this one to keep it in while we're not using them. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle them in the palm of my hand first. And why we say just sprinkle a few is because if you pour the whole thing in there, the seeds won't be able to really grow like they're supposed to. So just take a couple pinches and then sprinkling them over the white rocks. The little white stones. Okay, and that's actually probably really good. You probably don't need to put the rest of them on there. It's just kind of fun to sprinkle. Okay, so we'll close this up. Just folding it over.
What would happen if you added all your seeds, Miss Meredith?
Well, I know this because I've done it. What happens is that the seeds get so crowded that they can't really absorb the water and grow to the point that they need to in order to sprout up. So they're kind of like fighting each other for the space that they need in order to grow. So then they just kind of don't grow. And it becomes a sad garden. Not a happy garden.
Not a happy garden.
A little sad garden. All right, so around here somewhere is my little eyedropper. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to grab some water with our little itty bitty eyedropper and then sprinkle it over the chia seeds. So how you use it is you begin by like squeezing the end like this, squeeze, putting the tip into the water and then letting go of the squeeze. And you'll see water go whoop right into there. And then you squeeze it over top of your seeds. So here we go. Whoop. So you can see the water is all the way up here, and then we release it. And in releasing it, we're releasing the water, or we're squeezing it back onto the seeds. So I do want to mention that some of our other grow kits, such as the Grow and Glow terrarium, they actually come with little spray bottles like this. And you can use that too if you have one of those left over from one of our other grow kits. But this works very well as well. And that should be good. So I probably squeezed about 10 squeezes worth over the seeds. All right, so let's see what's next. Decorate the inside and back and front of the terrarium top with the stickers. Okay. So what we mean is, like, you can put the stickers inside the top of the little garden. So I'll show you what I mean. So we'll put this piece of seaweed on the inside as a cool background, or see if you can kind of see, I don't know, you might be able to see it, like, there we go. So it's in here, and then the rest you can put on the outside. So it creates a cool effect of the front of your garden and the back of your garden. And our little mermaid, I'm going to put in the front. So you might be able to see a little bit like that. And our jellyfish, I think jellyfish will be swimming up top here. So as I'm doing this, I realized that I needed to decorate the base before I planted everything in the base. But don't worry, we can still decorate it. We just can't move it as much as I'm moving the top of the garden. I must have been super excited about planting my garden. 'Tis the season. All right, bubble, bubble, bubble. Bubbles will be coming from our jellyfish friend, like that, little bubbles. And bubbles will be coming from our little fish, which I have to put on the fishy. Fish will be swimming over by the seaweed. And some bubbles will be coming up from our fish. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Slippery.
Got the drops today.
I must be. Too much coffee. That's okay.
You
As long as
did not pick up your mini garden today.
right, seriously, that's a bad idea. And if you do not have this kit at home, you can still make a little mini garden. You just need to get some potting mix and a little container, like a little mason jar or a little peanut butter jar or something. And you would just put the potting mix in. You'd sprinkle some seeds, like you can get seeds at like the grocery store sometimes, or the garden store. And then just add some stickers of your own to decorate it, and water it and watch it grow. So making your own little mini garden is very accessible. Usually seeds are pretty, well, right now, like in the summer, you can find them at a lot of different places. Okay, so our top is all decorated. with our little mermaid, our jellyfish, our other fish, our starfish, our seaweed, the other fish's brother, and the seahorse. Cool. All right, so now I'm going to take the time to decorate our base. And that's where you can use all these cool looking like pearly and fishtail, mermaid tail beads. And I think what I'll do, I'll move some of this stuff out of the way, and then maybe we can do a side view of the garden. Thank you. Georgiana is on top of it. She's got me. She's so great.
I think I put in
Georgiana.
for
Right. She's like, Meredith is gonna forget to decorate the base. I'll set up this camera. And you can add your little gems in a pattern, like pink, blue, or pink, purple, blue, or whatever you want. Or you can just be all random about it and just, you know, put 3 white ones and 1 blue one and 1 purple one. So whatever you want to do, it's up to you. However you want to stick those stickers on. But I definitely will use all of the mermaid tail gems because they're just so cool. I kind of think I need a pair of earrings like these. Like I need to make myself some earrings with these cool like gems.
I think we need matching earrings.
You want some too?
Of
We
course.
should. What the heck? What are we doing here? Why haven't we done this before? Then I could wear it during this class. Wear those earrings during the class. Cool. All right. And then 1 more, 2 more. Ooh, the pink and the purple. Georgiana, is your favorite color blue?
My favorite color is blue.
Okay, I feel like we've talked about this before and my memory is working, so yay.
Thank you for remembering.
I've impressed myself. So also you can use the little gems to decorate the top too. So I want to put a little itty bitty gem in the little shell sticker so it becomes more dimensional. All right. And then it did say in the instructions somewhere to add a pearl to your shell. So this little pearl sticker, it's white or purple. You could use whatever color you want. You just stick it, not on your fingernail. You stick it on the shell, just like that. Yay! So it's like a little pearl. So cool. So now that's all ready to use. And then you can just continue adding the stickers to your base. But for now, I'm going to continue on with our instructions as to what to do next. So I'll put those over there. Okay. We're going to add the decorative sand. So our decorative sand, like I said, we've got purple, green, and blue. Very mermaid-y colors, I will say. And I'll just put that. And this is why it's good to work over a paper towel or something. So if you do spill the sand, it spills on the paper towel and then it's easier to clean up. Oops. Okay. So looking at the sample in the picture, I really like how they did that. What they did, they just created lines and it kind of looks like waves. So I'm gonna try and do the same thing. So you just kind of carefully pour the sand out. And you don't want to put the sand over the seeds that you just planted. So that's why there's those white rocks are there to keep you from pouring the sand over those seeds. And you can save your sand, whatever sand you don't use, you can put it back in a reclosable bag. All right. So we'll do, I think okay. I'm gonna have to, I'll just show you. All right, I'm gonna do the green next, but I really like the purple, so I think I have to open up the purple again because I want to use that twice. All right, so here's the green. And I only open the little corner of the bag of sand so it's easier to control the sand coming out. Wow, that's vibrant. That looks like neon. Ooh, like my nails. What? Okay, just a little bit different. Ooh, and that's why it's in a reclosable bag. Okay, we're gonna get the purple out again. Because I just want a little more purple by the other side of the green. But I'm kind of running out of room to add the blue, but that's okay. There's still room. There we go. Purple, blue. And the blue I'm going to use twice too. So you can do whatever design you want. I just thought this was fun. And that's why I'm doing it, because it's bringing me joy. Playing with sand. So I want blue up here. And blue down here.
Looks like you made a green sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like a moldy hamburger. Nice. I'm glad you pointed that out. Didn't realize what I was doing.
I was thinking of maybe popsicle, like ice cream sandwich, but
No, moldy hamburger. It's definitely what we've got going on here. All right. There we go. Add the mermaid tail and the shell to the front of your garden. So this is the front of the garden and this is the back of the garden. So we're going to put our shell in. Oh, do you want to do a side view?
Absolutely.
I'll show you the addition of the shell. Adorable. And the super cool glittery mermaid tail. Nice. And when you put these in, you have to be a little bit mindful of where they're sitting so you can put the cap back on, the top back on. So when you're finished, pop on the lid and place your garden in a safe place. So the front of my lid had the little mermaid, and you kind of just spin it until it fits on. Like the top will fit in the grooves of the base. So I don't think I'm there yet. Not there yet. So maybe it's there. I kind of have to look at what I'm doing. No. Just gonna keep spinning it until it fits. Because it definitely fits some way, somehow. And sometimes the sand gets in the way, so you have to maybe move the sand out of the way.
Looks like there might be some dirt peeking out the back a little bit.
Oh, and maybe dirt is getting in the way. Oh, here we go. Found it. Ta-da! All right, so it turns out my mermaid is in the back, and my fish and my seaweed is in the front, but that's okay. What's going to happen is where I put all the seeds, that's where that's going to grow. So I'm going to just spin my little decorations around and we're all good. There we go. Oh, now I forgot how I put that on. There we go. Something like that, I think. Or was it this way? Yeah, the mermaid is in the back. All right. So this was our little mermaid kit. Let's see if I can kind of center it. And as mentioned before, we have our dinosaur and our unicorn. So the dinosaur and the unicorn are done the exact same way, but they come with different little characters. So you'll see here the little unicorn and a rainbow. And then the stickers have like a little smiley sunshine and a fun little castle for the background and some flowers and rhinestone stars and hearts. So this is our unicorn one. And then our dinosaur one has little footprints, dinosaur footprints. Two different dinosaurs that you can decorate with. A fun volcano sticker, a pterodactyl, and then a little itty bitty baby sticker, a baby dinosaur sticker coming out of his shell. So these are really, as you can see, quick and easy to do, and definitely perfect for a gift, a birthday gift, or just doing it for yourself. One thing you do want to watch, you don't want your seeds to get dry. So just make sure that you water them when they look like it needs some water. So just water them, put them in a safe place. Doesn't have to be in direct sunlight, but sunlight should get to it. So that is our mini garden. Does anyone have any questions?
How long should it take for my seeds to start growing?
Oh, it takes very quick. That didn't make sense. It doesn't take too long. It's quite quick. So I think it was 1 to 3 days. Chia seed sprouts, 3 to 5 days, in as little as 3 to 5 days. And that just depends on how warm your climate is or how warm your house is, wherever you're putting this to allow it to grow. So humidity might have something to do with it and warmth, but 3 to 5 days is pretty good. And it's really cool to see the little sprouts like just popping up, and you'll see how fun and easy it is to grow your own chia. Great question, Georgiana.
Thank you.
Any other questions out there? No? All right. Well, thank you, friends, for joining us. And thanks again, Michaels, for having us. And thank you, Felicia. And thank you, Georgiana. And have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.